Did Nikola Tesla discover a way to pull energy from thin air? Some say yes, and the key to his discovery wasn't in wires, copper coils, or steam. It was in quartz crystals. Yeah, you heard that right. Quartz, the very same mineral used in watches and beloved by crystal healers and rock collectors worldwide. But for Tesla, quartz wasn't just an ordinary rock. He believed it had incredible power, enough to tap into the energy of the earth itself. Tesla was a visionary, and his obsession with quartz crystals went far beyond just their beauty. He thought they could resonate with the natural frequencies of the world around us and even connect us to something far greater, something outside of this planet. So why would Tesla, this genius inventor, be so obsessed with quartz crystals? Was he just chasing a dream of free energy? Or did he stumble upon something far stranger than that? Today, we're going to explore the fascinating mystery of Tesla's quartz obsession, how he thought these crystals could change the world, and why we might be on the brink of finally proving him right. This is Porch Lore, and I'm your host, Devin. This is the tale of Tesla's crystals. Nikola Tesla, visionary, inventor, mad scientist, or perhaps just ahead of his time. Tesla's ideas about electricity, energy, and the universe were unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. His obsession with frequency and vibration led him to discover the potential of harnessing energy in ways that seem impossible even today. Tesla was a man who saw the world in a completely different light. While others saw electrical power and energy as something limited to wires, Tesla saw the universe itself vibrating, pulsing, alive with invisible energy. His obsession wasn't just about creating new technology. It was about tapping into the fundamental forces of nature. And in his quest to unlock the mysteries of the universe, Tesla discovered something that would eventually captivate him. Something simple, yet profound: quartz crystals. But what did these seemingly unremarkable stones have to do with his grand vision? You might think of quartz crystals as little more than decorative items, found in jewelry and used in watches. But for Tesla, these crystals were a key to understanding the very fabric of reality itself. To understand why Tesla was so intrigued by quartz, we first need to dive into his obsession with frequencies. In the summer of 1899, Nikola Tesla packed up his work and moved to Colorado Springs, leaving behind the hustle and bustle of New York City. But it wasn't just for a change of scenery. Tesla wanted to escape the noise. Not the typical noise you'd expect in a busy city. He was after something more subtle. You see, Tesla was obsessed with listening. Not just with his ears, but listening with his entire body and mind to the frequencies of the world around him. He believed that every planet, every atom, every single object, even an apple, had a vibrational frequency. And as we all know today, he was right. In Colorado Springs, in the quiet isolation of the mountains, Tesla could hear the hum of the earth itself. Tesla had set up a massive laboratory, complete with a gigantic Tesla coil, a device designed to generate powerful electromagnetic waves. It was here that Tesla believed he could harness the Earth's natural vibrations. With a 200-foot antenna, Tesla began transmitting massive electrical currents into the atmosphere, testing the limits of what he could achieve. But what's really interesting is what he received back. Tesla didn't just send signals, he was detecting signals too. Strange pulses, rhythms, and frequencies from the Earth. He believed that these were not random. They were resonances embedded into the very fabric of the planet. And in his quest to capture the Earth's hidden energies, Tesla used something crucial: quartz crystals. He believed quartz crystals could help him tune into the natural frequencies of the planet. They could act as resonators, amplifying the energy he was trying to capture. But what exactly did Tesla think was going on with the Earth's vibrations? And how did quartz crystals fit into this grand plan? And that's where things start to get even more mind-bending. To understand why Tesla believed quartz was so powerful, we need to talk about resonance. Now don't worry, we're not diving into a physics textbook here. Let's keep it simple. Resonance is what happens when one object vibrates at the same natural frequency as another. It's how a singer can shatter a wine glass by hitting the exact pitch that causes the glass to vibrate in sync until it breaks. It's also how radios work. You tune your dial to match the frequency of the station you want, and boom, the signal comes through. Tesla believed everything in nature, yes, everything, had its own frequency. Not just machines, but people, plants, crystals, even the Earth itself. Now here's where quartz comes in. Quartz has a very special property called piezoelectricity. When you apply pressure to a quartz crystal, bend it even slightly, it generates a small electric charge. And when you apply electricity to it, it vibrates. Not randomly, but at a very precise frequency. That's why quartz is used in watches, in radios, in computers. Basically anywhere you would need a stable and reliable frequency. But Tesla believed that was just scratching the surface. To him, quartz wasn't just a clock component, it was a tuning fork for the Earth. Remember earlier when we talked about Tesla hearing the Earth's frequencies? Well, it turns out the Earth really does vibrate. It's called the Schumann resonance, a low-frequency electromagnetic pulse created in the space between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere. It naturally oscillates at around 7.83 hertz. That number might not mean much to you, but here's what's interesting. That's the same frequency range as alpha brainwaves. That's the meditative state your brain goes into when you're calm, relaxed, or deeply focused. Tesla believed that by using quartz, he could resonate with that frequency. And if he could match it, maybe he could extract energy from it. His idea was simple, but revolutionary. If you could tune your equipment to the same frequency as the Earth, you wouldn't need wires. You wouldn't need fuel. You could just pull raw energy directly from the planet's electromagnetic field. He called it wireless power transmission. And crystals, especially quartz, were the tuning mechanism. Just like a radio dial, but instead of music, he was tuning into the Earth itself, and maybe even beyond. Back in Tesla's day, this was seen as madness. Scientists and engineers couldn't wrap their heads around the idea of a world without power lines, without combustion, without oil. But Tesla wasn't trying to invent the future. He was trying to return us to the natural order, where energy wasn't something we mined or burned. It was something we resonated with. And quartz was the tuner. It was the key to unlocking the planet's natural energy system. Or maybe a universal one. And here's where it gets really weird. Tesla wasn't the first to believe in the power of quartz. Ancient civilizations from the Egyptians to the Maya used it too. And some researchers believe they weren't just using it for decoration. They were building entire structures around quartz to tap into the same thing Tesla was chasing. Coincidence? Or were they all tuning into something they couldn't quite explain, but somehow they could feel? So here's the big question. If Tesla was wrong in believing that quartz could tap into the Earth's energy, then why did ancient civilizations build their most sacred temples with it? Why do we keep finding quartz? Not just as jewelry or statues, but but baked into the actual foundations of pyramids, megaliths, and temples around the world. Could it be that Tesla didn't discover this idea, but rather he rediscovered it? Let's take a little tour. In Egypt, many of the granite blocks used in the Great Pyramid of Giza contain a high concentration of quartz crystals. Not just because it's a pretty stone, but because of how it conducts vibration. Granite can actually amplify and transmit sound waves, especially when charged with pressure. And when you pack millions of tons of quartz-rich stone into a perfect geometric shape, like a pyramid, you're basically building a giant resonator, a machine. Now cross the ocean to Mesoamerica. The Maya and the Aztec used quartz crystal in ceremonial tools and altars. Some of their temples, like the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, are aligned with astronomical and geological energy lines, sometimes called ley lines, and quartz deposits are often found right beneath them. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe they were tuning into something. In China, ancient texts describe using jade and crystal to balance energy in the body and environment, very similar to what we now call vibrational healing. In South America, the ancient Inca used large crystal and stone structures in their temples, built with precision so fine that not even a razor blade could fit between the stones. And then there's Stonehenge, which isn't built of crystal, but sits on land rich in piezoelectric quartz and is surrounded by strange, energetic anomalies. Ancient people weren't just randomly stacking rocks. They were measuring, aligning, resonating, just like Tesla. Some researchers believe these ancient sites weren't just places of worship. They were energy centers, devices, amplifiers that used vibration and resonance, possibly powered or enhanced by quartz, to connect with the Earth's natural energy field. If that sounds like what Tesla was doing in Colorado Springs, it's because it might be the exact same principle. There's even a fringe theory that the ancient world once had a global energy network, not based on fossil fuels or electricity, but on frequency. Crystals embedded in structures would resonate with telluric currents, natural electric currents in the ground, and transmit energy across long distances. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, so did Tesla's ideas at the time. But think about it. He was trying to send wireless energy across the Atlantic Ocean using the Earth itself as a conductor. What if ancient people were doing the same thing, but using architecture and quartz instead of wires and towers? Now here's the twist. Tesla was aware of these ancient sites. He believed that ancient civilizations had knowledge of natural frequency and resonance, knowledge that we have lost. And he made it his mission to bring it back. He didn't think he was creating something new. He thought he was restoring something forgotten. And so he built it. A massive tower, laced with copper, steel, and you guessed it, quartz crystals. A structure that could, in theory, send power anywhere in the world for free. But what really happened to Tesla's greatest invention? And why did it disappear almost as quickly as it appeared? In 1901, Nikola Tesla began construction on a mysterious tower on Long Island, New York. It was called the Wardenclyffe Tower. Now, to most people, it just looked like another radio antenna. But Tesla wasn't just trying to send messages. He wanted to send energy through the Earth. Not through wires, not through power lines, but wirelessly, to anyone, anywhere on the planet for free. Here's how it was supposed to work. The tower would send high-frequency signals deep into the ground, where they would travel through the Earth's natural electrical channels, those same telluric currents ancient civilizations might have tapped into. At the same time, the tower would shoot electrical signals upward into the atmosphere. Together, Tesla believed these frequencies would create a resonant system around the entire planet. And what was his secret ingredient? You guessed it, quartz crystals. Tesla embedded quartz and other piezoelectric materials beneath the tower. He believed they would amplify the resonance of the Earth's own frequency, allowing him to create a planetary tuning fork. Once tuned, any device equipped with the right resonator could draw power from the air. Clean, safe, limitless. And that's when the trouble started. Because Tesla wasn't just building a power source. He was threatening to make entire industries obsolete. No wires meant no copper. No coal, no oil, no monopoly. And if you've studied a little history, you know the greedy men who run industries have never taken kindly to disruption, and especially not to generosity. Tesla had originally secured funding from one of the most powerful bankers of the time, J.P. Morgan. But when Morgan found out that Wardenclyffe wouldn't just be used for communication, but for free, global energy, he couldn't have that. So he pulled the plug, literally. Tesla's funding dried up, construction stopped, and the tower, Tesla's greatest achievement, was eventually demolished in 1917. Officially, it was to salvage materials for the war effort. Unofficially? Well, it depends on who you ask. Some believe the US government stepped in because they were afraid of what Tesla was building. Others think the energy tycoons of the day realized Tesla's tower could upend everything they were building, so they made sure it never worked. Either way, the Wardenclyffe Tower was erased, and along with it Tesla's dream of free energy for all. But here's the thing. Tesla's notes, what's left of them, made one thing very clear. He didn't fail because the technology didn't work. He failed because he was stopped. And quartz, those simple little crystals, were right at the center of it. To Tesla, they weren't magic rocks. They were science. A science the world wasn't ready for. But here's the twist. In the decades since Tesla's death, many of his ideas, wireless energy, resonant frequency, crystal-based communication, have all quietly become real. And today, some of the world's most advanced technologies are powered by the very thing Tesla was obsessed with: quartz crystals. So, did Tesla die a failure? Or did the world just finally start catching up to him now? And here's where things get strange. Tesla died in 1943, broke, isolated, and mostly forgotten. Fast forward a few decades, and suddenly his ideas are everywhere. Wireless technology, resonant energy, crystal-based electronics, and at the heart of it all, quartz. If you're watching this video on a phone, a computer, or a tablet, there's a good chance you're using a quartz oscillator right now. It's a tiny sliver of quartz crystal embedded in your device. That's right, a crystal powers your smartphone. And what does it do? It vibrates, very precisely. Those vibrations are counted by the device to keep time, to regulate signals, and to stay synchronized with networks all over the world. Without quartz, our digital world would quite literally fall apart. But it goes way beyond phones. Quartz crystals are used in GPS, airplane navigation, medical imaging machines, satellites, radio transmitters, and yes, even nuclear submarines. Anywhere you need reliable timing or a stable frequency, you'll find quartz doing exactly what Tesla said it would do over a century ago. And this isn't some fringe concept anymore. Modern engineers understand that quartz isn't just a rock. The idea that rocks contain natural energy isn't just woo-woo magic anymore. It's a precision instrument. It vibrates at predictable rates. It reacts to pressure with electricity. It turns electricity into motion, and motion back into electricity. In other words, it resonates, exactly the way Tesla described. Now here's something you probably didn't hear about in the news. In recent years, researchers have discovered Tesla's idea of wireless energy transfer using resonance. Companies like Tri-City and even big players like MIT have successfully transmitted power over short distances without wires, using devices tuned to resonant frequencies. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's pure Tesla. They're not using fossil fuels, not using copper lines. They're just matching frequencies, tuning devices, resonating. Exactly what he said crystals could help us do. Even more out there, some research teams are looking into how crystals and structured materials like metamaterials can manipulate energy fields. That means they're trying to do what Tesla dreamed of: harness energy, not by generating it, but by extracting it from existing systems. From the air, from the earth, from vibration. It's not mainstream yet, but it's happening. Quietly, carefully. And most people don't even realize they're finishing Tesla's work. So, if we're finally catching up to Tesla now, what else did he see coming? Some say he wasn't just working with electricity, he was working with frequencies that could affect consciousness, that could heal or destroy. By now, we know that Tesla was far ahead of his time. But the deeper you dig into his writings, the stranger things get. Because toward the end of his life, Tesla became obsessed with more than just power. He started focusing on frequency. Not just electrical frequency, but mental frequency. Consciousness. Tesla believed that everything in the universe vibrated. Every atom, every living thing, even every thought. He began to suspect that the key to understanding reality itself wasn't matter. It was vibration. He believed that by understanding the frequency of something, you could alter it, change its nature, heal it, or destroy it. Think that sounds crazy? Try this. Look up cymatics. It's a real scientific field that shows how sound frequencies create shapes. When you play a tone through a metal plate covered in sand, the particles rearrange into geometric patterns. Change the tone, change the pattern. This is sound reshaping matter. That's vibration creating form. Tesla thought the human body, the brain, even consciousness all had their own unique frequencies. And if you could match or manipulate those frequencies, you could influence reality itself. He wasn't the only one. Today, neuroscientists know that the brain operates at measurable frequencies: alpha waves, theta waves, and gamma bursts. And your mood, focus, and awareness actually change depending on these signals. Many spiritual traditions have known this for centuries. Many believe that chanting, meditation, and crystal healing all work by changing vibrational states. Tesla didn't dismiss any of it. He wanted to measure it, map it, and maybe even find a way to control it. He once hinted that certain frequencies could awaken parts of the human mind that were normally dormant, and that resonance could be used to enhance intuition, or to unlock memory, or even access dimensions of perception we don't usually see. But here's the part that makes people nervous. Tesla also suggested that misusing frequency or amplifying the wrong vibration could also lead to destruction. Not just physical, but mental, emotional, even societal. Decades later, these ideas resurfaced in black budget programs, secret military projects, and experimental weapons. We're talking about things like ALF, extremely low frequency modulation, HARP, microwave crowd control systems, directed energy devices. All of them are based on manipulating frequency. Tesla's theories about resonance and control weren't buried after all. They were just classified. After Nikola Tesla's death on January 7, 1943, in New York City, his room at the New York hotel was sealed, and the US government became involved with his personal effects. Tesla, a brilliant inventor and electrical engineer, known for developing alternating current power systems, died in relative obscurity and financial hardship. Shortly after his death, The Office of Alien Property, a U.S. government agency responsible for handling property belonging to foreign nationals during wartime, seized Tesla's belongings, despite Tesla having been a U.S. citizen. The government was concerned about whether any of Tesla's work had military implications, especially given the ongoing context of World War II. The key figure often associated with the seizure of Tesla's belongings is Dr. John G. Trump, an electrical engineer and physicist at MIT. Yep, that Trump. He was the uncle of Donald J. Trump. Dr. Trump was called in by the FBI to assess the technical value of Tesla's papers, and on January 26, 1943, he examined Tesla's materials and concluded that there was nothing of practical value in them related to the advancement of weapons or future technology. This event has since fueled conspiracy theories that the U.S. government or the Trump family said there was nothing of value, but then secretly kept or used Tesla's hidden inventions. It took nearly 80 years for some of those documents to be made public. And even now, dozens of boxes of Tesla's belongings are still missing, unaccounted for, gone. Why? What was in them? What did Tesla figure out about frequency, crystals, and consciousness that we were never supposed to know? Maybe Tesla didn't fail. Maybe he succeeded. Maybe his greatest invention wasn't a machine. Maybe it was an idea, one that could change how we think about energy, technology, and even ourselves. Because if everything is energy, if everything is vibration, then with the right frequency, you don't just change machines, you can change reality. So what do you think? Was Tesla just a brilliant inventor who got in over his head? Or did he uncover something much bigger? Something the world wasn't ready for? Thanks for joining me, Porch Pals. If you want more deep dives into real-life mysteries like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe and help me reach 1,000 subscribers.